Hello, everybody. Just finished watching Suriya's Suriya star Soorarai Pottru on Amazon Prime. Uh, Really an interesting movie, well made. Kudos to Suriya. I uh, I really respect this guy. Amazing uh, person. The effort he puts into uh, fit into the character, to mold into the character is unbelievable. Uh, for that alone, he deserves all the everybody's respect and admiration. The movie is about it's based off a real life story, so for the most part, it feels like it doesn't have a cinematic effect on you. It feels like real life, more like you're watching a history channel, or it just the movie looks very realistic, too realistic, except the odd times where in the villages these you know few song dance sequences, more like a rustic village environment. I mean, that's acceptable, and one has to overlook it because if they were to weed out that element as well, then it's going to look too realistic and too much of a biopic, more like a history channel. So I don't think everything is a balance, and you know movies have to be realistic, and life has to imitate art, and art has to imitate life, and if it's too far-fetched, it looks unrealistic. That said, this is based off the real life story of someone by the name Captain Gopinath, who has served in the Indian Air Force, and he's apparently from a village background, rustic background, and he wanted to run a airline business, uh, and as you know, it's for an ordinary non-entity who is a simple Joe to come out of Air Force and start a airline business. It's almost unthinkable, going against these business moguls and tycoons who are running the industry. And so he does it, and what he goes through, the trials and tribulations, is what makes up this screenplay story. Surya, as always, kudos to him. And after a long time, I guess, uh, after Pidamagan and after Nanda, I, it was so refreshing to see uh, Surya had performed, or he was given the opportunity to perform immense scope, and he has utilized it so well. Uh, and I cannot you know cease to admire his talent, and more than anything, I have you need to respect his hard work, his the amount of effort it takes to mold into the character. Anyways, that apart, the other lead, female lead, uh, I think she plays the character of Bomi. Her name I don't offhand, I don't remember. Some Bala Murali something. I guess I have written it somewhere. Let me see. Uh, Aparna Balamurali. Excellent, excellent. The director has got the right cast for the characters of the movie. The these the casting is excellent, and it doesn't. And she plays this bubbly. Uh, what's the word? bubbly girl who is strong-willed, uh, and who speaks her mind out, and a strong character, and the and the romance between Surya and female lead Aparna Balamurali is very it's it's so refreshing. It's easy on the eye, without any vulgarity, sensuality, but it's there's an emotional quotient to how the entire the romance quotient is woven into the screenplay. Beautiful, and she performs very well. And the other person who stands out is the villain. What's his name? I think he's somewhere from north. I don't know, not too familiar with the North Indian uh, artist. I think his name is Paresh Rawal. Yeah, I think that's what it is. His name is Paresh Rawal, main villain. Excellent. See, when you watch a movie, you could see the villain in the movie. It's very cinematic, and you know, menacing. Lethal, killing, murders. No, not in this movie. The villain is a uh, ruthless businessman. Businessman, when I say, I mean uh, tycoon. Runs the airline business, and he he plays the part so well. And overall, these three, Surya and the Bhumi character and the villain, stand out. And I mean the I guess the villain is the life line of the screenplay. Without villain, I mean, you get the villain realistic, and the story, the protagonist role becomes more convincing. Uh, that said, the movie is excellent, excellent, excellent. It's about an ordinary Joe who is coming out of the Air Force, trying to go against the existing system. It's a given, the money rules the world, and the banks rule the world, and in short, money rules the world, and the people who control the money rule the world. It's not the governments, it's not the leaders, it's the people who control the money from behind the scene. People, the voting population always think, oh, it is leaders who control. Leaders are puppets, and it's governments are puppet show, and you they pander to you, and they get your votes, and you think they are serving you. They look after the interest of the the ones who control the world. I guess I'm just digressing here, and how many billionaires are there in the world? I think in 2019, in the Forbes uh, studies or statistics show that 2,889 or something to that effect billionaires in the world, give or take. I mean, among the give or take, let's say it's less than 3,000. So among those billionaires, there, I think in India there are about 152 billionaires, subject to correction, if my memory serves right. So the world is controlled by them, and forget these billionaires. Beyond the billionaires, there are trillionaire dynasties. We don't want to get into that, but let's stick to this movie. The what The interesting aspect of this movie is Surya as an ordinary person who is trying to go against the existing system, the ones who control the money, the ones who control the business, and the trials and tribulations that entails someone who is bold enough, who is ambitious enough, who is willing to dream big, who what he goes through, and very well done. Kudos to the director. I think she's, as far as I know, she's probably the only female director that I have heard of in India. Maybe there are others, but I'm sure there are maybe a handful of others, but she is the only one that I know of from South. And she made the last movie about the boxing with the Madhavan. What I think it's offshoot of the Hollywood Clint Eastwood movie Million Dollar Baby. I watched both, and somehow, yes, the Tamil version did quite well in the box office. But I still like the casting in the original version, where the female protagonist, the character is so evokes sympathy. In the Tamil version, it didn't quite. So that's my criticism. By the way, I'm talking about this movie, but I'm digressing and reverting back to something else from this same director. But just and keep up the good work. I think her name is Sudha Kongara, and strange name. I never heard that name before in my life. And uh, yeah, you are very talented. Keep making good movies. I think Suriya did uh, a wise decision by releasing it on Amazon, incurring the wrath of all the unions, directors, producers, council. Everybody who went against, even his colleagues and friends, I guess. Uh, so he did it. I think it was a wise decision. I won't go into my reasons as to why he it's a wise decision. You be my guest. You can draw any number of deductions or conclusions to my statement. But as releasing this movie in the genre is such, the movie is made in such, it was a wise decision to release it on Amazon Prime Time. And as I understand, for a good price. I want Suriya. I really, really wish him all the success, and I really respect him as a person. I don't know him in person, but I'm, as a movie buff and watching YouTube what he does. Uh, you know, uh, the selfless work he does to uplift the downtrodden, and in 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 the educational sphere. Amazing, and so many other charity work I hear that he does, and his organization, he open up movie company or a production company called 2D. The workers, as I understand, are very well looked after. He's a good guy, great man, uh, and I wish him all the success. Some I've never been to India, although you can trace my roots back to India three generations ago. But I do want to visit India when this pandemic settles down. A few people I wanted to visit. One of them I wanted to meet. One of them is Suriya. The other person is uh, will the person who is into environment and cleaning up the lakes and so on. He was That's the other person. Well, we'll not get into that. This is a movie review. I just told what I felt. It's a serious movie. Everybody go, please watch it on Amazon. Thank you. Bye now.